Welcome back to another Sunday Sit Down. I am Ski, and today I'm joined by my lovely and horrifically psychotic at times little sister Heather. Thanks for joining me.
Hey, good to be here.
So now that we went over you are slightly psychotic, and then you do love a good knife. You appreciate the fine art of and craftsmanship. I appreciate those things.
Thank you.
They're really, really, really phenomenal. But we can get down to the breakdown. I mean, I've known you your entire life. You haven't known me my entire life. Fact. I win that one. Just thought of that on the top of my head.
Years of it.
Yeah, and I left for the Marine Corps. What, you were 14?
Yeah.
Going on 14? Yeah, going on.
Yeah. Well, you got back from Paris Island from training on my 14th birthday.
Yep, see? Aha. See, I knew it was that year. And I went down to the bank and got you guys to go, horseback riding, because you had to waste all that money to come and see me, like not even March, because it could rain. So we just stood in an indoor training facility sweating to death. But you had a good time. I was happy to see you. I thought it was good. And I think it was actually much better for the two of us. And me and Meg and everyone, really, that I went away. Everything seemed to calm down.
Yeah, you actually hugged me on Family Day on Paris Island. That was like, whoa, we don't hug.
He's not a hugger, boys and girls. No human contact, at least not human contact that you want for that many months. You'd be surprised who you'll hug. Anyone and everybody. I got home, everyone's like, hey, what? Hug. What? A beer. Like all that sad sappiness. And during all that time, while I was gone in the Marine Corps, because I was gone for forever. I mean, I've been down here for 14 years now almost.
Yeah.
Going on 15. What did you accomplish? Like your goals, like what everything you did?
Well, obviously I finished high school, while you were away. And
way better than I ever did.
College. I went on a community college and I studied broadcast communications. So I took classes in electronic news production, field production, journalism.
Keep going. That's impressive.
Yeah.
See, I didn't even know what all the names, what everything was. I mean, I knew you went for that field. Yeah. I never even actually heard the actual list of everything you got degrees in and for. So that's actually really, really cool.
Yeah, I take those classes and had a class on media management and law that taught me stuff about the HR end of things.
Yeah.
Which I don't need to know right now because I don't have employees, but it did teach me how to not go about firing them if I want to not get sued, which is good to know.
You and me need to sit down and talk one of these days about stuff like that. I don't have any either, but you know what? Knowing how well I get along with idiots, that might be a good skill to have. Or I'll just have you do it. You're right. You fire them, but they're yours. I don't care. You fire them. I'm not the most personal, cuddly bear anymore. Not really. No. Never have been. But
and now you're that fake customer service voice to act like I'm a people person. Not.
I have learned that. For the most part, depends on who it is. If it's someone from the VA calling me, I'm not going to yell at them because it's not their fault. The whole company, the whole department is just a bunch of idiots. I can't yell at them for that. My own doctors, I have been known to get slightly, or my old psychiatrist, I just like, how are you sleeping? I'm sleeping. Everything okay? Yep. You want to harm yourself? Nope. Love me some me. Want to hurt anyone else? Nope. Okay. See you later. Bye. Well, that's how you leave me alone.
Yeah, keep it simple.
Hey, I was just happy, like so happy when she said it was finally over. That's a whole nother story, but that was like, I felt like Tim Robbins in the Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah.
Because she sure threatened that she was not going to be my doctor many years ago. And then guess what? She stuck around for 5 more. Be our last appointment. Really? 5 years later, it was not our last appointment.
Yeah.
Now we got all that cool stuff out of there. Like, I know you did that cool project. You did a project, with ghosts.
Yes. I was on a team trying to do a paranormal investigation show. Unfortunately, that wound up being this cluster,
It-
around a truck. Uh,
Most things are. I mean, most of the time when you're first just trying to get stuff going, a lot of it,
yeah, there was
sadly,
the head guy that hired all of us. There was a lot of stuff that he said he had handled, that he said he had planned out, that he did not have handled remotely. He didn't even know how to handle it when he got on site, and it was just utter chaos. So they're still running an ad that has a clip of me in it, but I'm no longer associated with them, and they haven't put out a single episode yet.
hey, it gives you the experience. I mean, like, even if it's a bad experience, it gives you experience.
Yep.
And I only brought that up because, did you know, there's legit, like, you're coming down one night, like, you can take my bedroom. There's something in there.
Alrighty then. I will have to get some of those fun tools.
I'm not even joking around. Like, when you roll over, you're okay, well, maybe my eyes aren't adjusted yet. You turn on the lamp, you go pee, you come back, lay down, it's still right there. Like, Jesse hasn't been drinking or smoking or anything, but it's still like, yep. It's one of those. So there is legit paranormal activity in this thing. Last night, this morning, whatever it was, it freaked me though out.
Yeah.
Like, this time I saw it and I had like crazy wicked, I was gonna die dreams if I fell asleep. Like, it was an evil. There was a different type of energy inside of this one. I don't know what it was, but it wanted severe bodily harm to me. And this is me off of like 10 minutes of sleep because I was actually legitimately freaked out. Woo! And another thing that completely freaks me out, you have the stack of it there, is the current political situation.
Oh yeah.
In our country. And now that you're home currently today because of the Chinese Communist Party, not the people of China, it's the communists running the country, because apparently people can't differentiate the two.
Yeah, no, they like to confuse the two, and obviously, I mean, the people, they don't want communism. They're revolted against it all over the place, but they get associated with what the party does anyway.
So they all get thrown under the bus. Like, that's the worst thing though. Like, notice it, like, and the bad thing is, because I heard like so much, there's so many arguments I've had politically. We can all guess who I've done most of them with. One person in particular, the bane of my existence, politically. Just politically, still love him to death. For the love of God, stop breathing. Apparently, like, people on his side, let's say, are the ones calling people like you, me, all of us racist, just mean, bigoted, just schmucks. Because I don't think I've ever said that word. In over 100 episodes combined, I've never used the word schmuck. We're all that. But yet Uncle Tim was trending for 11 hours before Twitter finally took it down, because everyone on the left was saying bigoted, racist things about him.
Yeah.
Feelings.
Well, I mean, the Democrats are the ones who invented the KKK. They are the party of racism. They were the ones during the Civil War who wanted to keep the slaves. And yet now, they try claiming that it all turned over, and now it's the conservatives that are racist. But most of the conservatives I know live lives pretty much colorblind. They don't see things in terms of race.
If stupid was a race, then I'm a racist.
Yes.
I hate stupid no matter what it looks like.
Yes.
Male, female, animal, space alien, I don't care. I don't like stupid. That's not a race. That's just a giant thing. And they've been throwing so much, just spewed them on the fire. Like Elijah Cummings saying that, the passage of the 15th Amendment for voting rights was 100% passed by the Democrats. And then not one Republican voted to give them voting rights, when in actuality, 141 Republicans voted yes with 0 no's.
Yeah.
And there were 0 Democrats that voted yes, 39 that voted no, and 7 that refused to even do it.
Yeah, she
and I don't.
confused the two, conflated her numbers there a little bit. Anyone who does their research, I mean, it takes about 5 seconds to find that information on the internet.
That's what I keep saying every time. Like, please do it yourself. To include typing. I type fast. I have a problem. I can type without looking. Just literally 30 seconds total. Typing it in, and there's just a list. Like it. Like, and every bill out there is completely that. But one of the best arguments I had, which confounded all of it, was with him. When I said I was going to lose lots of friends because who I voted for when I start my show and my point of view. And that person, God, I can't wait. If he's like, please let him, please God, let him hear it. But like, well, that's because most of the white supremacist groups and all what they do support Trump. He won't get rid of he won't denounce him. Like, he just made the KKK a terrorist organization 3 weeks ago. Who? Yes, Trump. No, who? Like the KKK. Those people he refuses to denounce. That he just took literally every human right away from them possible. They can go to jail just for hanging out with each other now. Like, they're getting spied on all the time.
Yeah, I mean,
so those white supremacists.
We had like about approximately 17 clips, going around of him denouncing them before he even did that.
I was gonna say, even before he did that,
he won't do it.
He did that when he was still running.
I loved what was that reporter, Roberts something?
John.
John Roberts, when Kelly McEnany listed all of these incidents when he denounced them, including saying at the time, it was just the week before, he said just last week he announced
he hasn't done it recently.
Yeah, exactly. None of those, they're not recent. Not recent. I'm like, last week isn't recent. Does he have to wake up every morning and start a day with like a daily TikTok video saying, I denounce white supremacy? I mean, like, how is he gonna be recent enough for you?
He needed to get his Twitter handler, because he has a Twitter handler. Believe it or not, boys and girls, I'm not here to ruin your dream, but I know people that actually physically work there. He has a Twitter guy. It's not him. Which is why he probably just made it like, well, you need to get off of Twitter. It's like, well, I'm not physically actually technically the guy on Twitter. So I don't have to get off Twitter, but like, he should have just had him every morning. Like, he hasn't done it recently. Like, I wish Kaylee would have been like, bitch, you did it 5 minutes ago. Like, like how he said it on Friday. It's Monday, John.
Yeah.
We can't get much closer.
Yeah, nope.
I don't know who put him up to that. Poor John Roberts. Because I normally have more faith in John Roberts than that. I mean, I could see Chris Wallace asking that kind of question.
I could see Chris Wallace doing that.
Chris Wallace is definitely like he's like Mitt Romney. Yeah. He's a liberal. He just doesn't know it. But all of that being said, and all the craziness, like, the one thing that really bothers me about it all, like, that truly, really, like, never mind the level of ignorance and all of that. And that's actually probably what bothers me the most. But like, there's so much proof of it. Like, of all their racism, their like history of just scumbaggery. Like, I don't want my kids going to school in a
racial jungle.
Barack Obama is the first mainstream, clean, educated Black man I've ever seen. He said that in 2008. You realize Joe was in office since like the 70s, right? That was the first clean, educated, mainstream Black man he ever saw in decades.
Apparently, yeah. I mean,
you can't go into a 7-Eleven.
Maybe he just didn't notice the color on the rest of them. I don't know.
You can't go into a 7-Eleven without having
a slight Indian accent.
Not kidding. He even added that at the end of it, which makes it even worse.
Oh,
and all the sniffing.
Yeah. Creepy levels of sniffing. Like, levels of sniffing, you don't want to meet the man if you're a female, because like,
I mean, like, I see the little kids just like, well, I'm sorry, when little kids are on camera.
Yeah, when you're making the little ones uncomfortable, that's probably a problem.
And the biggest thing is, though, all the time, the liberals, I can't say libertarians, because libertarians like that I've known have actually been really kind of fair across the board with them. I mean,
they're more in the middle.
yeah, say they've been, see, so there you go, people. I'm not picking on the libertarians. They've actually been mostly fair this whole time.
Yeah.
They call him out when he actually deserves it.
Mhm.
Most of the time. There's a few times where it was just like, ah, but like, and there's so many people out there like Drew that just, I just don't get like how they could be that dumb.
Yeah, they're just completely oblivious to the facts. They're like, okay, whatever CNN said, that's a fact, and I'm not going to research it. I'm not going to worry about the fact that their newscasts are more assertions and opinions than actual information anymore, and technically, therefore, aren't actually news.
Yes, they are.
By
They are no
definition,
longer.
news is just the facts, unbiased,
Yes.
and that's not what they're getting anymore.
They're yes, like so. I just don't get it. Like that's been my worst problem. Like of everything you saw, it was like it's summed up in one news clip. You saw it. Whole God-forsaken world said it. See, look, I even saved that GD from not going to hell today. It's Sunday, especially down here. But the word, the jagaloon. There's a good one. Standing outside of the burning building, reporting for CNN. It's fiery, but mostly peaceful.
Yeah, we all saw that one. Last time I checked, peaceful protests didn't include any fire. I mean, like maybe if they're happening at night, you'd have like a lantern that has a little flame in it. And last I checked, fire.
And there he is,
burning things down. That doesn't seem very peaceful to me.
And there he is.
Last I checked.
Fiery, but mostly peaceful. Like, bruh. And there's idiots like that listen to it. Like there's like look it up. There's what $2 billion worth of insurance claims. 220 buildings got torched in the first 2 nights.
Not to mention the casualties, the injuries, the police officers
30
blinded by fireworks.
30 officers died. Over 2,000 were injured. I think it was 60 Secret Service members. 113 had their like eyes and everything ruined by lasers and stuff just at the courthouse in Portland alone.
Yeah, I remember watching a clip. They said that when they were claiming that the peaceful people, the peaceful protesters that are out during the day, were the real protesters, and that all the riots breaking out at night. That was Antifa stealing the movement. Yeah, and as they're saying this, and they're showing the clip during broad daylight, the daytime when it's supposed to be the peaceful protesters, you're watching frozen water bottles fly across the room and lobbed at these police officers.
And when you're talking about
that's peaceful. That's peaceful. No. You're throwing frozen water bottles at the police officers.
When you brought, I'm glad you brought that up, because I know that you have a brain, just in case you're confused. Yeah, anyone out there, she has a bigger brain than me, way bigger brain than me. I might have played with asphalt thrown in my face too many times. But a few weeks ago, when there's the guy there holding the can of soup, like remember when they talked bad about Trump saying, "There's like, it's for my family."
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, but they might have hijacked it. It might have been way worse it was way, way worse during the night. Like, I'll give them that. There were peaceful people out there.
Worse.
There were lots of people.
It's nighttime. It's dark. People want to show their faces. That's, they feel more safe if they come out and under cover of darkness.
Act like idiots.
Things they would never do if people could identify them.
But so I do give them that much. I'm not going to argue the fact. Yes, they were way more peaceful during the day. But then when the curfew hit, notice all hell broke loose for the whole night. All hell for months.
For months on end. It was ceaseless. And it still hasn't stopped. They're still doing it. They got their guy in office like they wanted. They got, Chauvin was convicted like they wanted, but they just keep going. Nothing is going to satisfy them.
And he was going to jail regardless on that
note.
Oh,
yeah.
There was no saving him.
Even if there weren't mobs, even if the jury had been sequestered, didn't feel threatened, I think they definitely still would have come back guilty on at least manslaughter.
He would have got something.
There's
he was going to jail regardless. And you saw when he just turned around, he thought, cool, what? Put his hands right behind his back and just walked away. What? I know it's coming.
But it was happening.
But as that name got brought up. Did you know? You don't know this because we don't ever talk, because you have this thing called like 18,000 jobs. All the time. Give a shout out to Jamie Brownlee for getting the COVID, because otherwise this wouldn't be happening right now. Thank you, Jamie.
Appreciate it.
haven't heard your name in years since I saw you when you were lived down the driveway from Sean, and boom, next time I hear your name, you caused this, so thank you. But I was talking with a certain, let's say his name is Shrew
Hmm.
or Grew. No, that's offensive. That's too close to that. But as we had it, I don't think I sent you the text, but say like what? Stupid. He's like, they're not stupid. He killed him. He's going to there's not going to be anything. He's not going to get an appeal. But like just having them not sequestered and say, stay off of social, stay off, don't watch the news. Well, everyone if they can go on social media, they saw it. They said they felt intimidated by what Maxine Waters said. Like no matter what, he's getting an appeal. And there's a very good chance he's getting a mistrial because they couldn't just shut the up.
Yeah, and that's the people who showed up that were outside, they were on video saying we only got this conviction because we showed up, because we came out. I'm like, you don't want to admit that. You don't want to admit that you intimidated the jury.
We intimidated everybody by burning the city down. Yay!
You're basically saying this man deserves a mistrial. This was not.
And it's guaranteed
how it's
now.
all supposed to go down.
It's all but guaranteed now.
Yeah,
because.
And then
Maxine
double
Waters
jeopardy set in, so he's gonna wind up not doing the jail time that he should.
Like I think he deserves jail time for like.
I
sorry,
do too.
everyone in the country believed that. We all watched and went, "What the?"
Yeah.
Now, was there resisting beforehand? Yes. Did he say that he couldn't breathe well before he got to the ground? Yes. Did he have 3 times the lethal dose of fentanyl in the system? Yes. Did that exacerbate everything? Yes. But that knee in the back of that neck for that long was beyond unnecessary.
Yeah, exactly. That's I've seen experts say that police are trained to use that position, and I have seen on Louder with Crowder they had like a little demo where they had
good old Crowder.
Yeah, they had one of the guys put each of them in that position and asked them, can you breathe and everything. And they all said, yeah, I can breathe, but it's really uncomfortable I wouldn't want to be here for 9 minutes. They all were pretty much in agreement on that.
Everyone agreed on that.
And you think about it. The position this officer's in, even if, Floyd claimed he wasn't on drugs, he lied to them about it, you knew he was on drugs. You knew he already was saying he couldn't breathe, which, it could have been him hyperventilating because he was freaking out, could have been because of said drugs.
He was saying it before he got to the ground. He said it before the ground. I do know that. I watched it. He was freaking out well before that.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But it was still murder, though.
Once you get him down in that position, you should be paying attention to the guy's breathing. Yeah. If his breathing slows down, at least you should be moving him into the recovery position and making sure he's okay.
And he wasn't going anywhere.
Strictly, if he died strictly of a drug overdose and, there was nothing they could do about it before the ambo got there to, save him from his own mistakes, that would have been a totally different story. But the fact that he held him in that position for 9 whole minutes, never moved him into recovery,
Like, I'm sorry, once you got him down, I might not be a cop, but I've done all, we've all, like, not you, but all of us that deployed, like we've been on, like, here's how you, like, what, he could have moved that thing off of his neck minutes before he did. And then if he did that, he just died laying on the road if no one was doing anything to him. Like, think of the story we'd have right now. I mean, the whole world still would have burnt them down because people are stupid and blisteringly ignorant.
Black men died in police custody. It wouldn't matter if it was just the drugs or if it was.
It doesn't matter at all. There's no, I mean, I am, though, while we're on this topic, because it's a big topic. I mean, it's really actually big. I am very happy and saved it. Completely terrified that Chris Cuomo and Don Lemon, of all people, said what? That was justified.
Yeah, talking about the Columbus, Ohio with Micaiah Bryant. That's when I saw that. That's one of those moments in life where you say, you know what? If these two are on the same page as I am, that tells me there is no other page. There is no other page. But there's nothing. Facts have to be so sound that there is no refuting them for these guys to be on the same page that I'm on. Is that they're always,
especially those two.
The stuff that comes out of their mouth, you just look at them.
We'll never get Stelter on our side or Rachel Madcow. We got Cuomo and Lemon. Like, I sat there and I watched. I was sitting there. What? Like, hold on. What? Rewind. What?
Yeah, he actually just say what I think he said?
Then I picked up the controller. And what? Hold on. What? Just what? Play. Like, yep. What? Hold on.
That just happened. Yep.
Just slapped the shit out of myself. What?
No, and it's funny, first, Don Lemon's talking about the common sense, and you're thinking to yourself, well, Cuomo's gonna argue with him on that. He's not gonna agree with this, and then he agrees, and you're like, well, they're both of them are using common sense. What?
I mean, it's not going to happen ever again.
Yeah, it's a lifetime miracle.
And God bless that Ohio sports bar owner that's refusing to play any NBA games until they get rid of LeBron and his business going up.
Oh, yes.
Thank you, God. But yeah, those two agreeing on that was just, but don't worry, they're right back to the same agenda now.
Oh, of course they are.
And I've looked at the numbers. I'm sure you looked at the numbers from 19 to 20 for police killings. I probably looked at it more than you because it just pisses me off. I hate the agenda. I hate it all.
Yeah.
We went up 14 and a half, like number of killings from 19 to 20 by police. White people were 14 and a half times higher, our increase, than the whopping, I know, whopping 6. I'm going to get yelled at for that one, but blacks went up by 6. Whites went up by 87.
Yeah, significant increase, and we're already getting killed at a higher rate according to the actual numbers, actual stats, not according to the media, but according to the stats.
According to the actual stats,
we went up that high.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know if that's part of that might be contributory to the woke white people participating in these riots and so-called peaceful protests. That they definitely contributed to those numbers, but yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous.
And the thing that I don't like about, okay, whites went up 87, blacks went up 6, Hispanics went up by 11, that's everybody else, the Indians, the Asians, all went down by 11. So minorities went up by a whopping 6. All the minorities.
Yeah.
We went up by 87. Don't see us burning to the ground. Why? Because we can read.
When white people see someone get, another white person get shot by the cops, their general response is, yeah, exactly, dumbass. Like, well, what were you doing? Why'd you get shot? You see the body cam footage and go, oh, that's why.
What did you think was going to happen?
And and honestly, I think there's more black people that are the same way.
I think
their voices aren't being heard. It's like the silent majority thing,
It's just like when they did the polls, because you paid attention to like we did when we talked and we were playing Crash. We even talked about the elections, like everything. Like when they did all the polls, when they started defunding the police. I think it was over 80% of black people that they said that they want more police. They want the same, police, if not less, more.
More.
And that number was last I saw it was like 75, 80% plus. Like they're all, we want the same amount, if not more police. And
just like 75% of them want voter ID, and they're trying to say that voter ID is racist. I'm like, and not according to the minorities, they want it.
I'm so happy. He's getting Drew. But he is we've mentioned him enough times. He gets a name now. We were talking, he tried to call me about WrestleMania or something. I don't know. And I was like, I'm going off about this. I'm like, what? Apparently you didn't read it because it is racist. Apparently I didn't read it. Apparently you listened to Don Lemon. Or I don't know, those people on ABC News, because he said they're not biased. Like, bitch, have you ever turned on The View? ABC couldn't be any more biased if they actually physically tried to be more biased.
Yes, ABC, who actually cut out a line from Joe Biden's
transcript.
When he's talking about, so it's just, we can do everything exactly perfectly. It wouldn't make a difference. That line somehow isn't in their transcript. That's on their website.
In the thing, the main takeaways from the voting law while we're on it, I think they actually, if they decide to do the Sundays, because that was still like up for debate, like they actually would have added days. They made it so you could have the drop boxes are going to be available at all county offices. So they have drop boxes now, which they weren't legal during this last one, and they want voter ID. What the hell is wrong with that? I'm sorry, you can't.
Yeah,
Guess what? I showed up at voting. I don't know, but I mean, my line was probably big because you're in Whitehaven. So, I mean, your line was like as big as this can right here.
Yeah,
but
my line's
like,
never long. I always
yeah.
get there like right in the polls are opening. So there's like six
and,
people.
I mean, like we got, I mean, early voting down here though, day one, like the wait was 8 hours. Just at the one place. Like they were beyond wrapped. Like they were out to like the road like a mile away. Like, but I was in line for like 30 minutes, showed up with my own, there was a lady behind me. Showed up, she had a chair, the umbrella, and she had water. Like, show up with a damn bottle of water. They're not going to tell you can't bring it in. Everyone has bottles of water, soda, energy drinks.
That was a big conflict. They were saying, they were trying to claim that people were told they couldn't have those things in line.
They could have them.
Not told they could not have those things in line. They were told that people could not, from a specific political party, go out there and give like a bottle of water that says like vote Trump or vote Biden on it.
They were not allowed within 100 feet, right?
Yeah.
Like no one that was affiliated to anyone could be inside of 100 feet. And that they were still allowed to have self-controlled, like they're still allowed to have water there for you to grab if you need it. That's not handed out by anyone.
It just couldn't be
handed out by some rube.
It couldn't be biased. It couldn't be towards
couldn't
one
be handed
or the
out
other.
By a rube, unless I believe, unless it was actually like the person themselves that was running. Like none of their affiliates could do it, but they because we actually, the senator that won in our district, like I actually met him the day I went early voting because he was in line, and like a pair of sweatpants and a t-shirt saying "What's up, everybody?" I'm like, "What, my man? I'm voting for you." What? I mean, I was voting for you anyway. Had nothing to do with it, but like, I don't know who looks worse. And I know how much money you make. I respect you, but that was all that was in there. Like him tell. But apparently you didn't read it. Apparently you didn't read it. All right, believe it or not, Drew. Whenever you listen to this, what the else am I doing? I wish I had an air horn. What the? In case you wouldn't lose it.
I want to get for when I do my show. I want to get like a button that just beeps when you push it. And get one of those F-bomb paperweights I saw on Etsy and just drop the bomb on the button every time.
Like, I want to get a hockey like foghorn. Like I should get that on my phone. So I just like what the like are you kidding me? Like, calm down, Jesse. But hell, Justin actually dropped a shit the other day on the wrestling show, so apparently that's completely acceptable now.
Yep.
Well, you did it before me. Ayo. But
it's a matter of willpower. Who was going to break first?
And somehow he was way worse than me. But yeah, like that whole voting thing, like and all the like, I was happy. It's not nice to say because there are good people in Hollywood and in sports and all of that, but Atlanta got completely shafted, like the city, when they moved all that out over something that wasn't racist. I mean, for the love of God, the Washington Post gave Joe Biden 4 Pinocchios. They can't give away any more Pinocchios. Like Joe Biden, like that's how much of a crock of that people still eat it up.
The Post, because the Washington Post isn't exactly a beacon of conservatism over here, you know?
Isn't exactly anything. Like they're out of their mind.
Yeah.
I say you're psychotic. I'm crazy. They're like otherworldly. Like they make Chris Cuomo and Don Lemon look good. Like they're out of it. And people are still like, there's Drew. Well, apparently you didn't read it. Apparently you just heard it from your good friends at the Daily Mail. The Daily Mail UK. Apparently you heard it from them who are actually described as a leftist tabloid. Like literally, look them up. They're elected, but they're not even real news.
Not news. Tabloid.
God, I hate people on the left. One, why? Because they're just ignorant. That's it. They're blatantly just. They're thick.
They don't want to learn. It's it's not that they can't learn. It's that they don't want to.
And they always do the but Trump.
Yeah, and I love.
Say nothing about Trump.
So the one time I was having a political debate with someone who's on the other side, and she says to me, "Honey, you have to get your news from somewhere other than Fox." Like, I don't watch Fox.
That's a good thing. Turn off. That's their only argument. Turn off Fox.
Yeah, it's like I don't even have cable. I don't watch Fox. I don't have a Fox News app on my phone. I see
don't.
their clips sometimes when other people share them, but
I follow like lots of things just to see all the different sides coming in, and then I research and do it on my. I turn on the 5 some days on Fox just to hear what's going to come out of Juan Williams' mouth, just so I can hear Greg. Just so I can hear
the gun, not necessarily at someone, and then I run at the person and try to take the knife off of them.
Just so I can hear just so I can hear Greg explode on him, because that's apparently Greg's whole. That's the only reason he's still on the show. So he can just, because they don't even like, it's just and everyone just sits there going, guys, what? Gotta go to break, guys. What? Shut up! Like, I watch it to hear Juan get yelled at. I'm like, what? I want to yell at somebody. I have no one to yell at. Juan will get yelled at, like, because he makes Daisy look good.
Oh yeah. I mean, I've seen. I only see clips of it. Like I said, I don't actually have the Fox News app. I don't watch it or anything. But
he's so dumb.
The clips that I find.
I don't even watch Gutfeld, and I've always liked Gutfeld because he's just blatantly, well, here's the stats. See you later. Juan argues, well, I'm giving you stats. We're not stats. Like, bitch, I got him from the FBI.
Even he got himself into some hot water over the Chauvin trial, though. So, he was happy with the outcome and flat out admitted, because the riots would have been worse otherwise. It's like, well, the riots are still happening. People are still, having property damage and being injured. Getting the verdict that they wanted, regardless. I love how he says, regardless of if he's guilty or not. That's not how justice works.
That's how people get mistrials.
Exactly. That is. That's exactly how a mistrial happens.
That right
and,
there.
And once they declare the mistrial, all that stuff that he was glad didn't happen because
all hell is gonna break loose. Except for you. You're lucky. You're in Whitehaven. Nothing's gonna happen.
Oh yeah, nothing happens here. And
nothing's gonna happen there.
Nothing would happen here because it's not only is it a small enough town that it wouldn't get enough attention media-wise for them. Everybody here owns a gun.
It's it is 1.2 miles of 1.2 square miles, at least borough wise. Yeah. 1.2 square miles of diner, Antonio's, guns.
Yeah, lots of guns, hunters,
and alcoholics, lots of alcoholics, guns, and please, this is why I live here. Leave me alone. If you try to make it so, but I will make you leave me alone.
Yes, everyone here hunts. Everyone here has at least a hunting rifle, if not, other firearms. It's not
for the most part.
Not a good thing to start a mess in.
It's really not. But now that we're on, because we delved into that, let's delve into another thing that I heard from Drew. Hi, Drew. I'm gonna call my microphone Drew because I yell at it for hours a day. Hi, Drew. After Joe Biden got inaugurated, still can't believe I'm saying that. Man had like 10 people. 10 people watched his speech the other day. 10.
Yeah. And most of them were conservatives watching it to critique what he says. They were not people who actually support him. People
that actually liked him. He had like 1 million people. Like no one else gave a damn, but that's another story.
But he got 81 million votes.
When I was sitting there watching it and I was talking with Drew right after it happened. I was like, yeah, what, the riots are still happening, guy. Like what Antifa went after the DNC or in the RNC building in Portland. Okay. Well, why would they wouldn't do that? They're on the left. Like, no, they're crazy.
Exactly. And Antifa is not left or right.
They don't have a side.
Anarchists. They don't have a side. They just want to burn shit.
Yeah, they're there to burn this mother down. We don't need no water. Let the mother burn.
Exactly. That's all they want. They are sowing anarchy and chaos. That's all they care about. Like they just want to destroy everything.
That literally.
We're never going to satisfy them. We're never going to get them to go away. But remember, according to Joe Biden sources, white supremacists are the most lethal terrorist organization.
His ass would know.
Not Antifa. No.
His ass would know. Because he's the leader of those motherfuckers.
Exactly. He's the one running it.
Who was the guy that was all happy that Senator Robert Byrd? Pretty sure his first name was Robert, right?
Yes.
Filibuster. Filibuster. Yeah, filibustered the Civil Rights Act. And he was like, and you said he was a mentor like 10 minutes ago when he died.
Yeah.
Joe.
Yeah. He was,
So-
you know,
And guess what? Joe started liking
a
the gays.
recruiter
What?
for the KKK is a mentor to you,
Joe-
and you're telling us that
And
the white supremacists are the biggest lethal threat.
and you have a big brain. Same Joe Biden. Last time I checked, pretty sure it was 2012 when suddenly he completely flipped and changed his mind on gays and gay marriage.
Oh,
Suddenly
yeah.
he was a big
Yeah.
supporter of all of that when they needed to get reelected.
Yeah, when in the first election cycle, the Obama-Biden campaign was completely anti-gay marriage. They were all about that Christian values, that marriage is a man and a woman, all about that. But their polling numbers weren't doing so good. All of a sudden, we'll legalize gay marriage. I mean, it's, I don't have anything wrong with it. They did decide to legalize it, but it's the flip flop.
And guess
they
what?
don't have their own scruples to stick to. They just
See?
do whatever will make their polling numbers look
Yes.
good.
Which, again, I
Just
have I have no problem with gays. If it makes you happy, be happy. Just like transgenders, if it makes you happy, be happy. Should biological males technically be in female sports? No, I don't care what the hell you identify as, because your bodies are built differently. All it takes is a basic 6th grade health class to teach you that. Or WebMD can even tell you that. They can tell you that you're going to die of cancer tomorrow too. But they can break down the basic anatomy different. Now, I'm not against but Donald Trump was the one that gave married couples that were gay the same tax codes as everyone else, so they got all the benefits that normal people. That was Donald Trump. The guy that hates gays.
He never changed his mind on that. That was just his stance from the beginning.
Which is why I love Bernie.
The problems you have with people like Joe Biden, you have footage of him back in the 70s talking about all the drugs coming over the border, saying we need a fence with barbed wire and whatever we can. We need security, and now he's against the wall.
Hey,
a wall's even better than a fence, Joe.
And you've done enough research, because most people don't. I'm pretty sure that was Bill Clinton and all them when he was president in 96, I want to say, that passed the bill to build a border wall. Donald Trump goes and actually puts funding towards it, and suddenly he's the Antichrist.
Oh yeah, suddenly he's
just
racist.
Just ask Jerry Nadler.
He hates Mexicans. He doesn't want them to come here.
He hates everyone.
That's not what was happening. He hates drug cartels. He doesn't want drugs coming here. Is that a bad thing?
You know what he doesn't like? He doesn't like a 4-year-old girl getting dropped from the top of a damn fence and just left for dead. See you later. Bye.
Yeah, that's.
Hold on. Here we go. 4-year-old girl. Boom.
And it's funny because when anything remotely bad happened under Trump, everybody all over social media, all the leftists were, this is Trump's America. This is Trump's America. But when stuff like that happens, no one's coming out saying this is Biden's America.
No, because it's Trump's America. Don't you remember? You were a young one. You were a young lad back in the year of 2008. I was dumb enough to volunteer to deploy.
Hey, I came this close.
You came close. And your body said, hell no, woman, what?
Yeah, exactly. I wound up in a hospital.
My body was like, let's do this. Yeah.
The hospital body,
Barack Obama's president.
Said, well, we ruled out anything that can kill you. Here's a bag of Percocets. Thank God for Dr. Smith. In the morning, doctor.
And there's suddenly when I was like, I'm volunteering to go to Iraq, and then suddenly Joe Biden gets Joe Biden. Yeah. Same thing. He got inaugurated too. But those two idiots. And I'm going, what? This is gonna suck. Suddenly we were targets. We weren't allowed to defend ourselves. Argue with me. I beg you. And if you were in the army, no offense to any of y'all or him. Come at me, bro. Please come at me.
Oh, he always hates it when I hit him with that ain't ready for Marines yet. He hates it.
I'm ready. Hell, Mom was here. Remember the black and white tank top that I got? With that had the fishnet thing when I first got it? Or that when Mom was here. Like, yep, what? Remember when I said I'd fit in it one day? She's like, yeah, you definitely do now. What? I am ready. When I'm ready. But I don't know what the hell I'm ready for, but this is going to end terribly. So I'm ready. This is going to end. This is going to be a big old shit sandwich.
Oh, yeah.
I still don't want to know where 81 million people came from.
Yeah, I'm guessing most of them are deceased.
I do know.
Already proved that a lot of them were did not use real addresses.
And
Well, it's a handful. He was
And
actually able to
I
the
just,
location.
you know, Chuck, you met Chuck.
Yeah.
His fiance, I believe she is now. Her friend lives in Iowa now. Like they're all from Michigan, obviously. She lives in Iowa now. She got a thank you card from the Democratic Party of Michigan for voting for Joe Biden. And she didn't vote at all.
Yeah, that's comforting. Well,
Like, so
now I know we're one of the.
Everyone says it doesn't. I
million
physically
people.
know people that actually had that problem.
Yes. Yeah,
Dave's vote didn't count in West Virginia. He mailed it in, never counted it.
Yeah. Yes, I know somebody who had that similar problem. She mailed in her mail-in ballot, and when she went to check the status online, it said that she voted the opposite of the way that she voted.
Yeah, like I know at least I can think of like 5. Like I got 5 of people that I know. Like just that their votes didn't count. They got told, "Hey, thanks for voting," even though they didn't vote, especially in the state. I know of at least 5. And
the him that you're referring to before, my guy, when he went to vote in the primaries, they told him that he was registered as a Democrat.
Still want to fight him, but
he has never in his life been registered as a Democrat, not from day one when he registered to vote. But they told him he was registered Democrat. He had to go online and change his affiliation. He couldn't vote in the primary because they were like, nope, you're you're a Democrat because that's what you're affiliated with.
But by the time, if I remember correctly, by the time Pennsylvania primaried last year, I forgot to turn off my iPad. See? The ringer's turned off, still dings. But when the primaries came around, I'm like in Pennsylvania, by the time it happened, I'm pretty sure you guys were already like Joe Biden was like set and it was done by then, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. But
if I remember, I think the whole primary system is like garbage.
Yeah, he's never ever been registered Democrat, but somehow it got mixed up in the computer. It's like these little inconsistencies.
Yeah.
And when you experience them in real life and that they're happening because you saw it with your own 2 eyes,
I physically have witnessed it.
You're crazy. You're a conspiracy theorist. This isn't happening. It's like no. I experienced it. This isn't just something I read online.
And I had that with Drew.
I experienced it in real life. It really happened.
And I had those conversations with Drew. No shady stuff. Like, dude, what? Let's just go to Pennsylvania, shall we? Let's take a stroll back home, shall I? When I say a stroll, I mean I'm taking a damn Amtrak because it's way more fun than driving ever could be. And then someone else has to drive my ass back to Whitehaven. But as to my checks, I don't know how up you are on the state's constitution. I'm only up on certain things, like the Second Amendment. It shall not be infringed upon. Your constitution says it shall not be questioned. They made it so no one could ever be confused by that. But voting laws. Election laws, you're not supposed to be able to change them within 5 days? I think 5 days in an election.
Yeah.
And last time I checked, the state Supreme Court and the state Attorney General do not have the authority to make anything.
It's the legislative branch's job, legislature, not judiciary, legislature's job to change election laws. And yet the court system decided to change laws at the last minute. And that's supposed to be counted. We're supposed to consider that legal. I don't think that's legal. I don't think we can count that.
Sorry, that was sketchy. Michigan, who wasn't supposed to send out, their attorney general, mail-in ballots unsolicited mail-in. And they literally, the Supreme Court ruled, well, it doesn't say that they shouldn't. It just says that it needs to be like solicited. It says it needs to be solicited. And they sent them out when they weren't, but it doesn't say it shouldn't be, but it says it needs to be solicited. So
needs to be is even more specific than should, far more specific than should, needs, and that's the way it should be. You should have to solicit a mail-in ballot because otherwise, mail-in ballot, like you said with your friend, voting in Michigan, if your ballot gets automatically mailed out to a previous address that's no longer accurate, who knows who's getting their hands on that ballot? Maybe
Especially,
it'll be an honest person who will shred it, or maybe it'll be someone who's like, oh, hey, I can vote twice, or I'm
And-
illegal, I can't vote at all, but hey, now I have this ballot, now I can vote.
and
You
on that
know?
note, what the hell is wrong with Georgia wanting like not just like signature verification, but like send them a copy of your ID to prove it's actually like you?
Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with that at all.
What's wrong with actually making sure? And the real question, I literally, for reals, not kidding, not joking, can't believe I even did it. Argument with Drew, like since like April, I was getting like 3 a week, like 3 requests, like applications for a mail-in ballot, 3 a week
Oh, yeah.
since April. What
I was
in the
getting them
flying?
constantly.
Did
They
you
were
have a
constantly.
problem not getting it in time?
Exactly.
What the f were you doing
They
all
started,
year?
like, as soon as we were done with the primaries, they started sending us applications to vote
What
in
in
the
the
general
actual
election.
were you
And-
doing all year?
Yeah, they were sending those out to us so early. Those applications were coming in so consistently that there was absolutely no excuse for
Especially in
anybody to get an extension. And then they're saying,
especially
you know,
in
as long as it's mailed,
Pennsylvania.
and they're saying, you know, if you mailed it on election day, that was okay.
No.
Great, but if I have a bill that's due on the 19th and I don't put it in a mailbox until the 19th, and therefore the check's
My
not getting
shit's getting turned off.
until 3 days later, I get the late fee. It doesn't count as on time.
Feed, I get turned
Same
off.
thing
I get everything.
with voting. You know, if you put it in that box that morning, it's not getting where it's going that
I
night.
would just like, and especially like in all those states, like, I don't know, all the swing states that miraculously suddenly turned to Joe Biden like at 3 o'clock in the morning,
Yeah.
where he got 148,000 votes and no one else got nothing. And Drew
Yep, just
justified that.
massive
So what? Well, he
And
was
no-
winning. He
yeah,
was winning in the
there was
mail-in
down ballot
category.
voting on most of those either. That was
He
it.
was-
It wasn't just that nobody voted Libertarian or Trump and all that bunch. It was that nobody voted in any
Anything.
category
Yeah.
of the president in that
Yeah.
whole bunch.
Like, and Drew said what he was winning in mail-in ballots. He was winning in mail-in balloting by like 65%, but not 100.
Yeah, exactly.
What?
Exactly. I mean,
He
that's
got
the
votes
way-
in New York City and Los Angeles and Hollywood. He got places that are just blew out the wazoo. He was still getting some votes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, at least a handful.
Like,
You know?
I'm sorry, 148,000 to none.
Yeah.
None. Zilch. Zero. Nada.
Yeah,
999999999. Thank you, Gunny Hitler.
Yeah, I mean, just like, you know, in all the heavily blue areas, there were at least, you know, a handful
He
of
was.
red votes.
There were
a handful
still
of purple
getting
votes.
red voters in all
You know,
this, like New York
Or,
City.
you know, in this this town of ours is like 99% red, but there were at least 2 people I know of. Well, okay, one of them couldn't vote because he's on probation for
For being from Whitehaven.
he had a whopping 2 supporters in this. At least one of them voted in Whitehaven, and at least one person I know voted Libertarian. So, you know, even here we didn't have 100% one
Yep.
way.
Nothing
You know,
is
it's a
physically
small town where
100%.
everybody has pretty much the same values. You know, nobody gets 100% of the vote
Especially
like that,
148,000.
straight up with not a single.
Out of 10,
That doesn't happen.
maybe. Out of 148,000, no.
Yeah, it's not happening. It's an impossibility. But
Mathematically,
but these are facts and numbers and things. You know, liberals are immune to them. They just bounce off their thick skulls and
I can
you know, go off
read.
into the universe.
there's a reason I have this half-tooth, people.
Mhm.
That's because this part of my brain splashed off of Western Boulevard at Mach Jesus. And I can still go 148,000 to none.
Yeah,
He didn't get those numbers in Manhattan or Hollywood, California. So
that just
pretty
doesn't.
sure that's physically impossible.
Yeah, definitely does not sound right. You know, I mean, I don't know.
And then he had like 10 people watch, like he had more conservatives watching his speech than like
People
liberals.
supporting him. Yeah.
But that's a
Yeah.
problem.
I mean, it's not like he's actually in touch with his base at all.
He's not
anyway.
Shit, he's not in touch with anything.
I mean, there's statistics that are going to come up on my show this week. Talk
Don't
about
worry,
this
people.
HR1.
By the way,
Yeah.
we will get to that whenever I stop talking.
Yeah. This HR1 thing he was talking about in his speech. He says, the country supports it, so we should pass it. Like, excuse me, but okay.
No one read it. No one read it.
Yeah, it's so long, nobody could read the whole thing, right? And as I even say in my show, I can't cover the whole thing because there's so much.
It's impossible.
It would be like,
Guess
it was
what?
like 2 weeks worth of episodes. It wouldn't just be like one episode.
Just to break it down easy for you people. Want to know why I'm not talking about it? Because of everything you just said and the fact that I'm going to cover what she's going to cover because she actually printed it out like she's like.
Yeah.
They just listened to what the media told them. They didn't actually look up anything in it at all. If you actually read the damn thing, it turns us into a communist state because suddenly the Fed is in charge of everything.
Oh yeah,
everything.
It's completely
which is against the Constitution.
Yeah, it's against 100%. The Constitution. We're supposed to have a separation of powers that allows the states to make their own election laws. So having a federal,
just like most other laws, by the way, for people not listening,
and just completely overrides the state's laws, that's unconstitutional right from the start. So
for those of us
thrown out on its merits, it's unconstitutional right there.
And you can agree, for those of us that don't pay attention. When I say those of us, I don't mean you and me.
Yeah.
Most of laws they make federally, they can't, like, the states supersede all of them because that's how it was set up. I just want to go and visually say that that's how it was set up. The state supersedes federal, and because they all have their own individual rights to run, and this government is just, the Fed is just there to help them along the way. They all run their own party and their own game for anyone that's not paying attention. Now we're going to go back to her educated, not me being pissed off at everyone because I hate the world. You people make me this way. You made me this way. Carry on.
So I tried to cover, on the episode, I haven't actually shot it yet, but I wrote down what I'm going to cover on it. I try to cover just the stuff that I could find direct polling information on, just a couple of highlights from the bill that we have polls to support. And,
there's a few good polls out there.
The country supports this, but one of the first things that you got to note that this bill does is bans voter ID.
Yeah.
Bans it. You cannot have a voter ID law. So even though 6 or 8, I think 36 states have voter ID laws in place.
It's somewhere.
If HR1 passes, it renders those laws null and void. It completely overrides them.
It's in the upper 30s. I don't remember the number. Sorry.
The polls show, when you look it up, it's 75% of the people who are polled want voter ID. They do not want it banned. They want it enforced. They voter ID. They think that we should require it. And
that's something I don't get why it's like you need an ID.
75% of the country is against this measure, but he's claiming that the country is behind the bill. Another thing that it covers that I have polling information on, lowering the voting age to 16.
You're not allowed to, they want to make it so you can't be buy cigarettes or anything until you're 21. You can't buy you can't do nothing, but you can vote when you're 16. Why? We're just indoctrinating you all bullshit.
You look at the polling information, even 16-year-olds didn't vote for it. Even 16-year-olds say, no, I think that's dumb. It's the polling information. And the article that I actually screenshot if I can get a video of it, but for my piece, actually states in there, it breaks it down to, it says that Republicans are more heavily against this measure than Democrats, but when it gets into the Democrats, it's still 65% of them don't think 17-year-olds should be able to vote, and 88%.
Yeah, so it was up in the upper 80s.
Vote.
It was just under 90.
Well above half of your base does not support.
Guess what? That's over 3/4 of your base.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody at that point, everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry, if you're in the 9%, you don't count.
So so this guy's, he's not looking at any polling information. He doesn't know where his base stands on these things.
He just goes out there and tries to read the teleprompter.
Yeah,
tries.
Whoever writes the speech thinks that if he says the words, the country supports this, then Congress will vote for it automatically. Republicans will just take your word for it, Joe. They don't want to look at the polling information.
Did you see every time he actually finished a sentence without screwing up,
Oh yeah, the rapid applause. And you see the way that Maxine Waters was clapping, like it's like, yeah, you really don't want to clap right now, do you? That's the most unnatural, forced, just I don't know what to, I mean, how do you comment on that? Like that's this is just she's such an unhappy person that she doesn't even know how to clap properly because clapping's a happy emotion and she's just a ball of anger.
She's miserable. She's not a human being. She's just she makes me look nice.
Absolutely miserable. She's terribly miserable.
And somehow she's still there.
I've heard something positive come out of her mouth.
Like since 91, which I was like, it's only 91? But she's been like 30 years now, and she's even more racist. Like she hates white people. She hates all people, really. From what I've seen, she hates everyone. She never says even anything nice. She just says nice things to black people because she's from Oakland, so she has the demographic. So she keeps telling them that she's doing nice things for them. They're going to keep voting for her, which is why I was really happy this last election that Hispanics and blacks like skyrocketed. Like how the hell did Trump get record numbers for Hispanics and blacks and other?
Well, because he treats them like human beings.
Saying he got record numbers by a mile for a Republican.
Yeah.
And he lost.
Yeah, I mean, he treats all of those demographics just like he does the whites, the majority. He treats everybody equally. We're all just Americans in his eyes. He does not try to, subdivide us. He doesn't do the race thing. They try to paint him as this, but his actions were never such a way. He always treated everybody with respect and equality.
Except for bad people.
He
called bad people bad hombres, which guess what? He could have called them a lot worse things.
Yes, the MS-13 or whatever that is. I think I said that.
Yes, MS-13. Yeah.
Yes, that he was specifically referring to. Yes, they were bad hombres, and that's he only refers to criminal bad people as bad people, and he treats everybody else with equal respect. Whereas the Democrats, they want to put everybody in their little pods. You got people out there, like what is that stupid blonde's name?
Stupid blonde. Well, is she a Democrat?
The one that made that comment about 50 Cent. Yeah.
Is it Chelsea Handler?
You can't vote. Yes, that is it. Yes, Handler. That was it.
Blonde Chelsea Handler.
Yes. You can't vote for Trump, you're black. And she actually comes out on TV and says, I had to remind him that he's black. Like, I'm pretty sure he's aware of that. Like, not all black people have to vote the same way.
You have to think if you're going to vote for me or him, then you ain't black.
Exactly. And Biden can say that, and he's not a racist. But could you imagine if Trump had said it? Could you imagine if Trump had said it? Like it would have exploded. It would everywhere. We'd still be seeing the footage today. It'd still be scrolling, front page. Can you believe he said this?
Hey, they're still showing him with the Charlottesville thing, and they're still talking about the bleach thing. Even if you look up him saying drink bleach, even CNN's fact checker said, yeah, he didn't directly say that.
Yeah, he definitely.
And I've argued it through about that, and he said that about Charlottesville.
We could find a way
to do that inside the body,
to do inside our body what bleach does on our surfaces. Did not say anything about drinking bleach.
Just like the Charlottesville thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They cut that off.
There are fine people. There are fine people on both sides that were peacefully protesting, but the scumbags over here burning shit to the ground and killing people. But they need to be, handled and prosecuted.
They just cut it off there. They got people on both sides, and they just say, well, everybody on the other side was a white supremacist. So clearly that's what he was saying. No, there are people peacefully protesting that they don't want this monument taken down because it's part of our history that had nothing to do with race. And
testify.
To say if they hadn't cut him off, he says right there, I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white supremacists, which should be condemned entirely. But he refuses to condemn them. He never said those.
Does he do it?
It off before he said it, so it didn't happen.
He didn't say it in the last 14 seconds, so it wasn't recent enough. Like, bitch, I just said the last sentence. Well, I loved Kaylee. God, I hope they should make her.
I miss her.
They should make Kaylee. But no offense, Peter Doocy. Peter Doocy could be the chief White House correspondent. Whatever. Could we make Kaylee because she has a Fox News contract? She's of course
she does have a show with them now.
Can we make her the briefing room? Like, hey, Jen. Hi. And then we can watch Jen Psaki not ask her a single question like they do to Peter all the time. Except Kaylee has the ability to go like, what? You. Repeatedly, what? You.
Exactly. I mean, she always has all her facts in a row. She's always so prepared.
It's terrifying.
You know,
Terrifying. The level. Like, she wasn't even
she's-
pre-screening questions like Jen Psaki.
Exactly. She doesn't pre-screen the questions. She's
And she can
completely
still
prepared,
answer everything.
and she will slam you without even blinking. Like, she's just
Actually,
fact,
moron.
She knows what she's saying, you know?
Actually, stupid.
Exactly. Yeah,
Like, oh, I'm dead. I
as
shouldn't have
soon
said
as she
anything.
opens that notebook, you know, as a reporter, you're done screwed up.
And Jen Psaki just can't.
But yeah, I mean, just circle back. I'm gonna circle back. Let's circle back to that.
I'm gonna
It's not
circle
answering
back.
complete sentences. Or I love the answer she gives you that where like she says a lot of words, but
She
none
doesn't
of them
actually say
actually.
anything.
Yeah, she doesn't say anything. None of them actually answer the
Hey,
question. None of
she
them
was
actually
great.
resemble an answer.
She's
And
great at
anyway,
saying a million things.
yeah.
We just go,
Yeah. Well, that's just. I don't want to answer this question, so I'm just going to talk a lot. So the reporter will be confused and be too busy trying to translate in his head what I just said to actually ask a follow-up question and get a good answer.
I'm just gonna use a lot of words and then circle back so no one knows what the is actually going on.
Yeah.
Well, good for you, Jen. How about the rest of us? Well, how the hell did we go from like
those of us who actually would like answers?
How did we go from like a McLaren to like see? Haha, saved it. To like a Pinto. She's a soulless ginger. So we know how I feel about gingers now, except for Aunt Beth and Randy. Randy. Gotta be nice to Randy. She at least liked the page. Be nice to Randy. Don't be nice to Meg's whole entire ass hanging out.
Sometimes I'm glad I'm off Facebook. It's definitely one of them.
I still can't go on. Like I just oh look, notifications. Bye. What? Go away. What? Scarred. So by the way, Meg, Adina, Randy, thank you for ruining my entire life. I can still smile though. You haven't broken me, but I did not need that in my life at that exact moment. And now, as we've rambled enough about politics, now I'm giving you the full-blown opportunity. You get as many minutes, like you could talk for the next hour for all I give a damn about what you are doing, your show, what it's about, where you can find it, what it's on. I'm giving you an open mic until you're ready to know. I want you to tell us everything about it because I'm excited that you're finally jumping on it because I know you've been trying to for a long time.
I've been trying a long time.
You've been just slave to the grind. So ready.
Between my tech and my health, it's been like a nightmare trying to get this going. You know,
you've listened to enough of mine where I'm going, good.
Yeah.
But
my
ready.
My laptop completely crashed out. I currently don't have that to help me get video.
If it helps, I have one of those right there behind that door. I have about an $1,800 paperweight.
Yeah.
So I feel your pain.
My laptop, it ran an update. Windows ran an update one day, and all of a sudden, nothing works. Nothing works. Turn on, I get a blue screen.
I must say though, this right here, this Surface Pro, like the newest Surface Pro that came out, and thank you PayPal credit. Big shout out to Elon Musk because everyone's like people on SNL, like heads were exploding. But
I tried to do mine on my tablet. I tried to, I filmed it on my camera, and fortunately, I was doing the audio recording on the cell phone simultaneously while I was doing the video recording, because the video recording did not have video.
Well, I did the video
in the tablet and opened up the file, and it was just black.
I did a bunch of video for that little time I had the Adobe stuff for now, and they all had video. I put it all together, and suddenly it's like, okay, well, the first one has audio, and the last one has audio. The three in the middle are dead and silent. And you know, like, what? Ain't nobody got time for this. Boom! Did it all as one. Deal with it. But ready, tell us the title of your show, what you're talking
the
about,
show
when you're
is,
gonna do it, like what platform. So you just go off.
Yeah. So the title of the show is The H Ski Show. And it's going to be, about current events, about politics, the same kind of stuff that we're talking about here. And unlike all the mainstream media, I'm not going to call it news because, yes, I will be giving you my opinion on it.
Factually based.
Yes, it'll be, yes, my opinion will be fully formed, factually based. I will provide statistics. When I work out my technical issues and I start doing video, that will be available on Rumble, and I will have screenshots of articles, links to the articles, so you could check it yourself. Right now, because I'm having technical issues on the video end, I'm doing audio only on Anchor, and of course, Anchor distributes to Spotify and Google Podcasts, kind of distributes
Radio Public, Pocket Casts. Mentioned, just making sure what she mentioned.
It distributes it, so we're to find it everywhere that Anchor distributes to. And if you want to follow any of my social media, I'm not currently on Facebook or Twitter. I'm considering starting a Twitter for the show. I
don't even do one for mine.
Yeah, no, you don't get any followers.
Either of them. Facebook got way more interaction, just as a heads up, than you ever did on Twitter, because they're all batshit crazy.
See, when I had my personal accounts, I got more interactions on Twitter than I did on Facebook. At Facebook, I would post stuff, even stuff that wasn't political, and like a month later, none of my friends saw it. It was like, okay, thanks, But I'm not using either of those right now. But I am on Parler. If you look up @H Ski Show on Parler, I'm on there. I'm also on Clout Hub, Telegram, and MeWe. So you can follow me. Yeah, I'm kind of all over the alternative platforms. I'm trying to stay off the mainstream stuff. So I don't really feel like getting censored. That's why when I come up with the video, when I work out these technical issues and get the video out, I'm going straight to Rumble. Because why go to YouTube so they can not let me get any reach, so they can suppress me and demonetize me and all that,
Don't worry, my pages combined, I think I have 3 followers combined, because they actually had to physically go and look for me.
Because one of them
like look for me. Don't worry, I made the Jesse Rosinsky Show's page by itself. I have 1 follower, Chuck.
Okay.
1 when I did it all by itself. When I had to physically go and actually like break down barriers just to find you. I know, but they don't censor anybody.
Yeah, they don't censor at all. They don't mess with their algorithms to make sure that
Facebook loves to mess with my algorithm. Facebook loves my algorithm.
Same way they don't have any liberal stuff set to autoplay so that it gets a really big view number, even though people aren't actually choosing to watch it and they don't watch it all the way through.
Because they keep scrolling to make it stop.
There's no interactions, but it says it's got lots and lots of views, so it rates because they said autoplay. That's not happening, That they don't do that. No, not at all. Not even a little bit.
They would never.
Yeah,
they're nice, fair, gentle, happy people.
Oh yes, they certainly are.
Just like I am.
So
my entire life.
Yeah, so the show will be more of this, we pull up facts, statistics, actual information, make sure I have the full story before I open my mouth. Something
most
that
people don't.
The mainstream could learn from.
They never will, though, sadly.
Yeah, no, they won't.
CNN's ratings are that low, and they're still not doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
They'd rather just crumble and lose billions than
actually wait for the facts to come in and actually get information. Yeah, they just want to run their mouths and give you their opinion based on assumptions and assertions, not based on facts. I prefer my show is an opinion piece. It's not a news piece, but it's going to be a fact-based opinion. It's going to be educated opinion. It's not going to be whatever assumptions I want to make. I try to make sure that I'm fair in the middle, as much as
Hey,
possible.
I try to. I call out the old rhinos too,
Yeah,
but
exactly. I mean, it's hard.
there's
The further the radical left goes, and the more the radical part of the left gets their voices heard over the more moderate
AOC.
section, the harder it is to claim you have anything in common with them. But there is a moderate section to the other
There
side,
is.
and we'll agree with the moderates sometimes, So
For the most part, we do.
yeah, most of the time,
Our
it's
moderate side,
and people who are,
our moderate side is way better off than their moderate side.
yeah.
Because don't you know, Joe Biden's their moderate side.
Oh yeah.
At least Bernie Sanders is full-fledged and crazy. He
Yeah.
believes it's nuts, but he believes in everything he says. I'll give him credit. He's not like everyone else. So what? Oh wait, this week when I agree with that, why? Because that's what the polls brought me. Bernie Sanders is bad shit crazy.
Oh,
None of
he
it's ever gonna work, but he is steadfast, and he's probably the only person that is,
Look,
but here's what I think. Deal with it.
it's just like the study that was conducted by a team headed by Bernie Sanders, that said, now I forget what the exact numbers were. So I think it was about 1 million people or so would be raised out of poverty by
1.9 million would go into poverty.
Yes, exactly. They had, there was a obvious difference between, number of people that would be lifted out of poverty by raising the minimum wage, looked like a nice number until you heard the number of people that would be put out of work entirely by it and knocked into poverty, and it was an even higher number. It was like, oh wow, that's a bad idea. It's so a bad idea, and yet
it's a cataclysmic idea.
Yeah, exactly. And yet, what did our illustrious president say in his speech?
He's very illustrious.
Let's raise the minimum wage to $15. And at the same time, he's saying, there's no reason why wind turbine blades can't be produced in Pittsburgh instead of Beijing. How about because they don't have a $15 minimum wage in Beijing?
They can just have the Uyghurs do it.
Raise corporate tax rates, and no company is going to want to move here from Beijing. If it's going to cost.
And they're all going to leave like they did in 2009.
Exactly. And the few that do stay are going to lay people off.
Like, believe it or not, stupid people, we did this before. Not that long ago, but most of the people that voted for Joe Biden didn't start paying attention to politics until election cycle, and they all paid attention to the mainstream media, which told everyone that everyone on the right was a bunch of racist, scumbag, bigoted, xenophobic, sexophobic, racist, everything.
Many of the people that we follow, the people that we looked up to that got us into this in the first place, Levin, Bongino, any of them talk about the minimum wage. The working class liberals say, well, they're wealthy, they don't understand what we go through living paycheck to paycheck. I'm here as a person who works 10 hours a day, 4 days a week, and 7 hours, another 2 of them. That's paycheck to paycheck. I'm broke. I'm working class. I am broke. And I'm telling you, if you raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour, I'm gonna be out of job. The mom and pop shop I work for, the small restaurant I work for, they can't afford to pay us that.
Which is why I had the great argument. It's like, where the hell? But they're struggling now.
$12 for a burger so they can make payroll.
It's like they're struggling.
The toppings are still extra.
They're struggling now. Where the do you think they're going to be if you double their tax rate and increase double minimum in some states? You're doubling the minimum wage.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what in the do you think is going to happen?
This is it's like these people have never heard of inflation. I just see it now. These liberals that want this minimum wage hike, they get their first paycheck after getting $15 an hour, and they're like, oh, I made so much more money. This is gonna be awesome. They go to the grocery store. Why does milk cost $8?
Yep. See, I have this friend that you never met. Love her dearly. She's from San Francisco, and she's not a liberal.
Which is a miracle in and of itself.
Tell me about it. My head actually exploded when I found out. I just formed it back together. That's why I'm so hideous looking. And my half the tooth didn't come back. Turns out the other half stayed in the roof of my mouth when my head exploded. Yeah. I tried, but I can only transmogrify so much. Yeah. There's a big word for you miserable bastards, transmogrified. Look it up. Yeah. My head
You don't
went
usually
from,
do them big words. That's
my
the.
brain went from mush to this. But like what? Like the cost, like minimum wage, in like San Francisco's like $15. But like, yeah, but see, you said but. Well, that's like because cost of living is 3 times higher, and you like
Yep.
you have to work like right now. I pay less for a three bedroom,
Three bedroom.
$1,800. You know, like 1,800 square feet. Jesus Christ! See, if I didn't think about it, but
Yeah.
like this, fine. This right here would cost like $3,000 just to rent in California.
Yeah. Oh,
This
yeah.
right here, this
Yeah,
$170,000 in Whitehaven would cost me like 100.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just like you
Yeah,
can
yeah.
go back there and make all that like, but no matter
inflation,
like the
cost
cost
of
of
living,
living goes up where
No.
inflation sucks.
Exactly. And
Place
that's
is run by
exactly,
liberals.
if they make a national $15 minimum wage where inflation sucks, it's going to be everywhere.
We're screwed.
Yeah, we're just
Like
inflation's
screwed,
gonna
screwed.
suck
Everything's gonna
everywhere.
shut down. Nothing's like
yeah.
they're gonna have 3 employees. Nothing's gonna make it, and we're all
And I love the argument they make when they say, well, a lot of our, factory jobs and manufacturing jobs, they already start at $15 an hour or more, so they won't have to change.
That's 'cause they
Excuse
have a
me, but
skill.
if I can make the same money standing at a window in McDonald's as drive-through collecting people's money and them back
Then actually
change,
having a real skill.
but actually, yeah, like I make the same money doing that as I would make taking a manual labor job that's going to put more wear and tear on my body. It's going to be harder work. I'm going to be sweating my
Balls.
off.
Lady balls.
Yes.
Meg said they're
You know?
terrifying. So
And I'm not taking the harder labor job for the same money. Nobody in their
Nope.
right mind would.
No
So
one.
obviously it doesn't matter that they're already at this level. They are going to have to raise what they pay to attract workers, to get people to apply. If they can make the same money doing something 10 times easier,
it's gonna be terrible.
they're not going to take a harder job.
Like-
People are inherently lazy, first of all. And secondly, they don't want any of the potential health problems that come with harder work, the back problems, knee problems, all that. In order for them to
Everything.
take that on, it has to be worth their while. They need to be paid enough over minimum to attract them, to make it worth their time. So these people are going to have to start paying more, and that's going to lead to layoff.
You got to
Mass
think
layoff.
the people that are like at the minimum wage and that was me, you idiot.
Hello, Daisy.
I'm not getting up. I don't even give a shit. Bark at nothing. I don't care. Nothing, actually. I give a damn about nothing. But like that's the thing that no one gets. And you got to think of the part that none of the liberals think about, because liberals are unfathomably dense. See, I didn't call anyone stupid today. $15, like the people that are already making that much, then they have to bump them up, which costs
Exactly. Yeah, they have
more
to
money.
bump them up.
And you go on a tirade. I'm gonna go see why the dogs are freaking out. Thankfully, we can do that because you can tell me your theory about it. I can still hear it and respond from across the house. Because I don't know if someone's actually physically dying, but Buster got off the couch, which means it's time to see what the hell is going on.
Usually,
If
that's
Buster
usually
moved,
If
if Buster
there might be
moved,
something going on.
the house might be burning down. But
Yeah.
again, the $15 for the people that are already making that,
Yeah,
carry
exactly. Yeah, the people who are already making $15 an hour are not going to continue doing the same labor for that price if people with simple, easy, part-time jobs are making the same pay. That's just ridiculous. They're gonna, there'll be strikes if these companies don't elevate their pay rate. No one's gonna want to work
no one
for
is.
minimum wage doing
No one is at all.
hard labor.
Like
They're
that's
just-
the part that none of like that, but that's the physical part that none of them think about.
Yeah, they all took those jobs. Everyone that's working a factory job, a hard job like that, took it for the good pay and the benefits.
Yep.
And
like,
if
you gotta
that
turn around and
pay
give it to
becomes minimum
everybody.
wage and the cost of living goes up, they're not going to consider that good pay anymore. They're not going to want to do the work for that.
Like
They're
think
gonna
of those
want,
states.
They're going to want raises.
And there's a lot of states. I think you guys are on the list that are still at 725. There's not very many. There's a lot that are up above it, but Like think of the ones where people are making 15, where the minimum wage is at 725, 750, whatever the hell it
Yeah,
is.
yeah. It's
And then
definitely
suddenly everyone's making that. Like, what the hell do you think the company's going to do? Keep paying them where they are now? Whatever, well, they're going to have to raise it, which is going to put everybody out of business because there's this real whole like ebb and flow.
Yeah, I
of,
mean, right now,
just
even,
stupid.
like I said, I work for a small mom and pop shop, but they don't pay me minimum wage. They pay everybody. Everybody starts at least $1 over. They try to be generous,
Yeah.
but at this point, they're as generous as they can. Like the last raise I got, I'm not getting another raise. I know that because they can't afford it. It's just, it's impossible.
It's a
They're
sad,
small. They are
it's a
small
sad
mom and
but
pop.
true. It's a
They
sad
can
but
pay what
true
they
with
can
the way it
afford,
is.
you know?
And tax codes, the way they're
Yeah.
changing them, like that small business will
Yeah.
be lucky if they're even still around.
Exactly. And then you raise the minimum wage to 15. They can't afford to pay all their employees $15 an hour.
Nope.
And they certainly won't be able to give us the honor and respect that they always have of paying us above minimum at that rate. There's
they'll be
no
under
way. When they start paying us, that if they have to start paying us at $15 an hour, it's just going to wipe out their profits entirely.
It's going to wipe out.
Gonna go under.
I think this is just a way to do what COVID did when they shut everything down and finally kill the middle class. Like that's really
exactly. These small businesses survived those lockdowns. Damn.
And there was some idiot.
Let's raise the minimum wage.
There was some idiot. He was a Democrat. I don't remember his name. I saw it. Said that we don't deserve small businesses that can't pay $15 an hour.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Guess what? Small business can't afford to pay their employees.
It's saved right here. I can't tell you who the hell it was.
Yeah, I know I saw it. I don't remember his name or even what show.
If they can't afford to do it, they shouldn't be in business. How about they're not making $250,000 doing nothing?
Yeah, they said they can't pay them a livable wage. They shouldn't be open. And what he doesn't understand about that is, companies pay their employees approximately what they get out of their employees.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
especially most small businesses, like they're struggling every day normally.
Exactly. And, so like, for instance, me being a dishwasher at the diner, having someone there to actually wash the dishes, that's their specific job, allows for faster turnover because you don't have wait staff trying to do dishes, cooks trying to stop putting food out because they need to come over and wash something they ran out of, and that's worth a certain amount. The amount of turnover that it makes earns them a certain amount of money. And that amount of money is the maximum amount of money that they can afford to pay me to be a dishwasher. If they pay me more than the amount that turnover brings in, they're losing profits. They're losing money. And that's just how business works. That's how business functions.
Watch Restaurant Impossible with Robert Irvine. You know what? This is how much we're charging. No wonder you're losing money. Because you're trying to take care of your customer, but you're not taking care of yourself, which is what gets most of them in the problem that most small businesses fail inside the first year.
Yeah.
Or at least restaurants, really, they're even at a higher clip. They don't want
to overcharge. They don't, and they don't want to only pay their employees minimum. They want to try to be fair to everybody.
And then they're screwed.
They about their own profit margins the way that big corporations do. Big corporations are the exact opposite. They only think about the profit margins. They don't give a crap about their employees. They don't give a crap about their customers.
Which I had the big thing after whatever you'd like to call him, sleepy, creepy. He's gone. I got hit in the head with a truck in Western Boulevard, and I was answering questions better than Joe Biden could. Like before I snapped two, I was better than he was. Like everyone, we're just going to raise the corporate tax rate. Like, do you remember 2008? Well, they did this. They didn't even do it to this extent. They did it. Everyone left. People got laid off. Do you remember the amount of checkouts there were before Obama compared to after Obama, where there's whole entire 20, 30-foot sections of Walmarts on both sides of their checkout that are self-checkout now?
Just like his plans to double the capital gains tax rate.
From 23 to 43, might as well be doubled.
Yeah, it's basically double. And, Ronald Reagan raised the capital gains tax once, not by double, not by nearly as much as he's raising it by.
Nowhere near.
But he raised it. And, the result was less
tax revenue. Less tax revenue. They got more tax revenue off of Trump's plan.
Disincentivized people. People didn't want to invest then, so that they wound up, less investments, less investors, less money going in the market. they got less profit. And then when Clinton decided to do the opposite and lower it, they made more profits. And, somehow, the man who apparently doesn't know anything about his history thinks that,
and he was there for all of it.
I mean, it was there for everybody to see. He lived through all of it. He was in government for all of it.
He's got dementia, though.
Somehow he just doesn't seem to remember how that worked. That he thinks that raising it's going to help.
He's got the dementia.
He also thinks
beyond the dementia. Actually, he's gone. But
he also seems to think, for some reason, him or whoever's writing his speeches, since we all know he doesn't have a thought, thinks that raising capital gains only affects the wealthy.
Affects everybody. That's when he said trickle down off.
When he said or investment accounts.
When he said
if you have an IRA, that's an investment account. That's affecting you.
When he said trickle down economics doesn't work. Raise all their tax rates. I guarantee you trickle down works. When you gouge them half of it, like you double their tax rate and all that way, I guarantee you trickle down works because they're still going to make profit, and everyone underneath them that works for them is going to be completely screwed, shafted, shysted, gone, unemployed, laid off. They're going to get completely like horse up the. Guess what? Trickle down economics does actually work.
Trickle down might not actually exist in the sense of boosting us very much, but when it goes
certainly
the other way around,
it expedites poverty really fast.
The hit runs downhill. But if I already dropped one S word down there.
I'll say it for you. What the shit rolls downhill at a cyclic rate.
Exactly.
Like
that's
a 50 count. Trust me, been there, done that.
Yeah. Exactly.
Cyclic.
When you send them over, when you cost corporations money, when you cost the big guys money, it rolls down on us.
They're just going to shaft their people because they don't give up about any of us. They just care about money.
Not to mention there's more middle class people who are investing in the market nowadays because they have, there are all these apps out there that make it easy to go in on stocks together with other
God
people.
bless GameStop.
Group investments. All these different ways that you can start investing with as little as $5. So there's more little guys in the market now. So it's obviously going to affect us too. It's affecting everybody. It doesn't just affect the rich people.
Needs to be a lot more little guys. Look how the GameStop thing worked out. Yeah. Robin was like the little guy could bury the stock exchange if we all actually got together. I'm not saying we should get together. So how about you calm down, FDIC? And everyone else, guess what? I wasn't involved in GameStop. I had nothing to do with it. I turned around and went, damn, what? That sucks to be those guys. I didn't do none of it.
Yeah.
But if we did more of that, well, hell no, really, what? Sorry, what the middle class is over here at this point. Why did I just edit out? I've said shit like 9 times today.
Yeah.
We are over your shit, my friends.
Yeah.
And yeah. Here's how you know, because we just cost you billions. Take that, hedge funds. Yeah, but Joe Biden's president. Joe Biden will buy them out. His friend Barry and him already did twice. Yeah. Because they murdered the country.
And another thing that I love about Biden's plan here.
Sleepy, on my show, sleepy, creepy, everything else you want to call him.
Yeah, he has this jobs plan and this family plan. Combined, they're going to cost us roughly around $4 trillion, and he thinks he's going to pay for it.
Everyone's just going to leave
by making.
That's what happened last time.
Make the IRS, crack down on these corporations that are supposedly cheating on their taxes.
But who wrote the tax code?
Speech, it even says right there in the speech, it's estimated to be billions of dollars. Billions. Okay, well, billions are nice, but they're not going to pay for a $4 trillion.
Where's the other Where's the other 3.9 trillion, Joe?
Exactly. It's like math and numbers and stuff. He's not very good at.
Hey, we can't pick on him.
Budget.
He's like 800 years old. We cannot pick on Joe Biden because he can't do math.
Yeah.
He's reverted. Like he's at that age. He's reverted back. Like he's back to the diaper.
Yes, and apparently nobody else on his staff who's advising him and writing his speeches and whatnot.
Oh, they are. They're just making him say whatever helps them out. Like I have a dear friend. I think she's here right now. You know what? Someone just needs to keep blowing Joe. Like, just suck him off, make him happy. He goes and gives a speech. He doesn't know what's going on. He doesn't know. He's gone. Like, I've heard from like all kinds of people that were there after I got hit in the head with everything. Like, I was more cognitive around than Joe is right now, and I was severely concussed. I don't remember none of it.
Yep. Yeah,
But it happened.
He never knows what's going on. He never knows where he's at. It's sad. You know, he doesn't know what's going on. He's a puppet. He's a human puppet. But you know, apparently whoever he's puppeteering for, who's pushing this stuff, who's behind the strings, they can't do math either.
None of them give a damn about it because they know they're all going to be gone by the time all hell breaks loose.
I mean,
which is why I hate the liberal, by the way, because they're like Drew's exact words after the first stimulus. Well, we found the money the first time, we'll find it again. Like, bitch, we printed it.
Yeah, exactly.
We didn't have it.
They printed it,
what,
and there's no money in the reserve. There's no gold in the reserve. Back it.
Or the people. What are tax dollars? What there are tax dollars? Bitch, our tax dollars were gone before we got anywhere near. Well, we were at a deficit. It was less than $1 trillion, by the way. Our deficit was only at 899 billion. Like, we were actually under $1 trillion.
Over 28 trillion and counting. Over 28 trillion and counting. And he swears that this $4 trillion plan is not going to add to the deficit. It's not. You know, I mean, we only have billions of dollars coming in to pay for it when it's, you know, multi-trillion dollars, but it's not going to add to the deficit, and they're not going to raise taxes on the middle class to cover it all. That's not going to happen. Yeah, which of course we all know means that's exactly what's going to happen.
And stupid people believe it. Which is why I have this right here, and why you're starting your thing. Like, there's people that like, are you kidding me? What?
Exactly.
Like, we're going to get tax revenue.
No, we're not.
From who? Like, 'cause you're going to raise that. I mean, yes, you're going to raise it. You're going to have tax revenue. It's not going to cover any of it.
No, it's not.
Like, it's kind of like what our budget right now covers for what they're doing deficit spending. Like, tax revenue is going to cover it. We're at $899 billion deficit before anything happened in fiscal year 2021 with all these stimulus payments and everything. We were already almost $1 trillion in the hole. And he spent how much? What? We didn't find it. We're just gutting the country so it doesn't exist anymore.
28 trillion and counting. There's nothing like, and it's not like it's difficult information to find. Again, you just search right there on your phone, on whatever, you type in national debt clock, and it brings up this website. It shows it, the numbers rolling,
and it's going this fast.
Yeah. Yes, it's spinning a mile a minute. We're just we're getting deeper and deeper in the hole every second. But
I could do this all day.
Show you right there, just how deep we're in it. And these people just want to keep spending. They just want more money. Keep spending, keep spending. I mean, and he says a bunch of stuff that sounds really great. I mean,
all of his words sound great. It's just
all of his words sound great. Some of the stuff in there, I really wish we did have the money for. And he talks about and
some of them are great.
To focus on diabetes and Alzheimer's and cancer. Who doesn't want a cure for cancer? We all do.
we're gonna cure cancer, he says. Right.
Yeah. Right. Well, he wants to cure everything. I mean, first of all, we've been trying to do this for how long? And no one's figured it out yet. But
how many pharmaceutical companies are you gonna put out of business doing that? Like what? Yeah. How much money have you made off of them? Yeah, sorry, Joe, you're not getting rid of cancer. Sorry, guy. It's a physical impossibility.
But all the but when you think about just everything sounds great, but everything costs money.
Joe Biden is
in theory, but it costs money. And even when he's talking about the fully clean grid. Okay, as much as I love the environment, I'm a Wiccan.
I have an electric lawnmower and weed eater because I love the environment. And I walk and ride a bicycle everywhere because apparently I'm a supersized liberal at heart because I care about the environment.
I do not own a car. I do care about the environment. I do.
Where the hell are we getting all the lithium for all these batteries and charging stations and everything? Well, we're going to murder the environment any worse than cars ever could.
Well, so first of all, the mining for lithium is definitely not good. We have no system in place for recycling the batteries from these electric cars when they go bad. Because
there's no way to get rid of it. They just
that's going to be a problem.
Stack up.
But even that, clean energy, having a clean grid. Didn't California try that? Didn't they try going green?
Yeah, they're rolling blackouts.
Exactly, rolling blackouts. And we saw what happened in Texas, frozen wind turbines. There are parts of this country, believe it or not, Biden, there are parts of this country that get worse weather than Texas.
Like
Texas doesn't even typically get these ice storms.
No, they don't. There's states that get them all the time where this is normal.
Exactly.
It doesn't work. At all.
North and ice storms like that, they're normal. It hailed here on Friday. It hailed here. It's spring and we had hail, and they're calling for snow overnight. I didn't actually see any snow, but they
didn't do that. Didn't do that. It was warm here.
Areas like this, we're not looking for wind turbines that are going to freeze up on us. We're not looking for that. That kind of weather's more normal for us.
And my big thing, what the hell happens with the range that they have? If you're like me and you're just under 600 miles from home and they only have a 300 or so mile radius, what the am I going to do? Stop for a couple hours and charge my car so I can make it all the way up the coast? Like, I'm sorry, but that can take like an 8-hour trip and turn into like a 13-hour trip because you have to stop and. What's wrong? My Prius is recharging.
Yeah, I remember looking up the charging times it takes for those vehicles, and it's like, no, you're not taking any long trips with that car. I mean,
we're gonna put in a million charging stations.
Stopping for gas and pumping up in 5 minutes or less. You'll be let me park at this charging station and plug my car in, and then I'll go over to this diner and sit for at least 45 minutes to eat, just to
lay over and
die. Battery power to get to work.
Yeah, like that's, and think of all the prices of like electricity are going up, and the grid already can't sustain it. What's going to happen when everyone has to charge everything?
Yeah,
that's more electricity. It doesn't work.
It's not going to be stable.
For those of us with fully functioning brains, it doesn't work.
Yes, I mean, I would be very happy to go green if the technology was ready to support our grid.
It's not.
But we're just not there yet.
If Elon Musk says it's not there,
and put money into the science instead of trying to force it to work when it's not ready.
When Elon Musk says it's not functional, he kind of did finally find a way to put us back into outer space with and have drone powered like motor rockets propulsion, so we it lands so we don't have to keep rebuilding it. Like, I'll take Elon Musk's word. Why? Because he's actually a genius. Not Bill Gates.
He knows what he's talking about a lot more than any of these politicians.
Not Bill Gates, who stole the idea from his partner. And everyone, Elon Musk is actually putting this together. I don't know why I did that again. Elon Musk is a genius. There we go. That was appropriate. If he says it's not feasible, it's not feasible.
It's not. Exactly. I mean, he is one of the greatest scientific minds of our time. If he's
like Tesla.
It's not there. It's not there.
He's like Tesla. Because he doesn't care about money. How do you know he doesn't care about money? Because he said he would spend the money to buy Facebook just to shut it down for the betterment of mankind. Well, I'll blow a couple $100 billion. I don't give a damn.
Yeah.
I'll just burn it down. I won't notice. Thank you, Elon.
Just throwing it around like it's candy.
What? Hey, here's $1 trillion. What? Just go away. I don't care as long as you go away. So he's good, but see, we should do this more often.
Yes, well, that's why I said once I get my show going on, we're gonna have to do co-show sessions called ski on ski bits. We're gonna have that overlap. I work together.
Peanut butter jelly. Where am I at? Right here. In my dark, dark room. Doesn't look so dark with the camera, but you should have saw it on the 4K camera. It looked like I was sitting in a cave with no light at all. I don't know how the cheap camera worked better than that one, but.
Yeah, I tried to film last night, and without the natural light coming into the window, the shadowing in this room is terrible. I'm gonna have to get fill lights if I want to shoot after work. But
you can do it, and it's easy.
Yeah,
but,
do it. I mean,
but it was fun. I actually thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Don't know about you. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So we should do it more. We should try to figure out how to get everything going. Like when you have time, like obviously I want you to do your show first.
Yeah.
It's yours. I'm here 5, 6, 7, 12 days a week. You know, I don't ever shut up. We should do it more often. It was fun.
Yeah.
I actually enjoyed the conversation.
Yeah, definitely. A good
I had no idea how
conversation.
much time passed, but it didn't seem like a lot.
Yeah, I
I'm
have no idea how long we've been sitting here.
I'm sure I'm going to hit stop and it's going to be like, oh, really, bro? Like, but that was a long time, but it was fun.
Yeah.
Again,
Like-
here before we get off, tell everyone what your show is. Get all your free advertising that you can.
The show is the H Ski Show, hosted on Anchor, which will distribute it to Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts. Does it go to them?
You have to do Anchors. I mean, you have to do Apple yourself.
I have to do that myself. Okay,
But they do go.
I'll get it on there as soon as I can.
Spotify, Anchor,
Spotify, Anchor.
Breaker, Public Radio Public, Pocket Casts, Google Podcasts,
Yes, there we go.
and Apple all on your own if you do it.
Yeah, so you've been on it long enough. You know all the ones they distribute too. I'm working on editing my first episode and getting it up there, so that should be up there by the end of the day.
She cares more than I do, people.
Yes. I'll be
You're
on,
getting full raw ski, which is terrifying.
Yes, and my socials, I'm on Parlor and Clout Hub, Gab, all at H Ski Show.
So you got the
I'm
new
on-
ones.
Yes. So
And I will make sure that I share them all in the video description. So you can find her on everything. So she gets all the views that she can. And then whenever she starts recording more, obviously you follow along, you'll get notified. You will know every time she even opens her mouth and breathes. You'll find out.
I'm also on TikTok at HSki92. I don't use it too much. There's only a few there, but I might post a little show snippets once I get the video going.
You know what
And,
I care about more
Episodes
than
when I
TikTok? That's what I care about more than TikTok.
Yeah, once I get my video up and
Jeez,
running, that
nuts.
will be on Rumble. The full episodes will be on Rumble when I get video, but I might post like snippets, short bits on
Hey.
on the TikTok.
Hey, just like the great Ben Shapiro and all of them do. Like, here you go. Here's the snippet.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
go over here and watch the whole thing.
Yeah, exactly. Except when I say get over here and watch the whole thing, it's for free on Rumble, not here, pay me a subscription. That might come in the future. I might at some point do a paid subscription for full blown, unedited, all the cuss words just
And again, like I mentioned before, between my show, Justin's show, Chuck wants to do it, you can feel free to join on because the website is a coming. So you can have like 5, 10, whatever you want every month. So you can have like your once a week, just like some exorcism shit going on right there.
Let the steam out. Let all that anger out. Like when live cover, if I ever do a live cover of any of these speeches, it's bad. I yell.
Thankfully, he's not Donald Trump. So he talks like once every 100 days.
Yes, exactly. It's not very often.
You only have to worry about it 3 times a year. And then there's nothing else because he's not like, he answers questions and he's like, what, I'm going to get in trouble. You getting in trouble for, Joe? What? You're supposed to be running the country, guy. Who the are you getting in trouble with?
Yeah, I'm gonna answer one more question and we're getting in big trouble. Yeah. Oh my God. Like, what are you,
Curiosity.
toddler? Yeah.
What is? Shit.
President. I don't know.
Like you have less chance of getting in trouble inside of a court of law for like answering 3 questions. This is shit, Joe. Come on, man. But again, it was fun. I appreciate you coming on for as long as you did. Because I feel like we've been on here for
yeah, I do feel like it's been a while. But it
Not
was
long.
a good conversation. It flowed good. It was worth the time.
So we will make sure we do this again.
Yeah. Definitely.
Thank you for watching the second sit down. Sunday sit down, actually. It's a good word. I'm pretty sure someone already coined it, so I'm just going to say it,
Isn't
not
that
copyright it.
alliteration? All those fancy grammar skills.
And until next week, I'm Jesse. I'll always be Jesse. She will still be my weird little sister. Under H ski. And we will see you again sometime, my friends. Peace.